Some moments don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with music or warning. They just happen quietly, gently, and somehow, they end up changing your entire life. Ethan Adams never expected anything to change again. 3 years had passed since his wife's accident, and life had turned into a list of responsibilities. Wake up early. Pack lunch for his daughter, Lily. Work long hours. Cook dinner. Pretend he wasn't lonely. Every day blurred into the next, calm on the outside, but heavy beneath the surface. Lily was 7, small, bright, and brave in ways a child shouldn't have to be. She missed her mom every single day but rarely said it out loud. Instead, she drew family stick figures holding hands, and always, right in the middle, she drew a mother. Ethan would see those drawings and swallow hard, pretending he didn't feel the ache tearing at his chest. Across the city, Olivia Hart lived a very different life. The world knew her name, the CEO of a billion-dollar tech company, the woman who turned ambition into art. People saw her power, her sharp suits, her unshakable confidence. No one saw the silence waiting for her at home. 2 years ago, her husband walked out. He'd said she was married to her work, and maybe, for a while, she was. Success came at the cost of every heartbeat she ignored. On a rainy Thursday morning, fate decided they had waited long enough. Ethan was running late again. Lily had an art event at school and refused to let him leave without seeing her project. He promised he would even if it made him late for work, and they stopped by their usual cafe for breakfast. At the same moment, Olivia rushed in for a quick espresso before a board meeting across the street. Her heels clicked sharply on the floor, and then a slick patch of water, a gasp, and she slipped. But before she could fall, a steady hand caught her arm. "Whoa, careful," a voice said. It was Ethan. Their eyes met hers, wide with surprise, his calm and steady. And for a second, time just paused. "Thank you," she said softly. He nodded. "Anytime." It was nothing, a moment, a coincidence. But fate doesn't waste moments like that. A few days later, Olivia's assistant insisted she attend a charity art event for children. She went out of obligation, another photo opportunity, another polite smile. But halfway through the gallery, she stopped. A painting caught her attention, a bright pink sun, 2 stick figures holding hands beneath it. The tag read, "Lily Adams, age 7. She smiled and then froze. Standing beside the display, smiling proudly, was the man from the cafe. Ethan. Olivia approached, her curiosity overpowering her hesitation. "Your daughter's painting is beautiful," she said. Ethan smiled. "Thank you. She's got more imagination than I do, that's for sure." Lily looked up shyly. "That's me and my dad," she said. "And, that's my mom. I drew her even though she's not here anymore." Olivia felt her throat tighten. For the first time in years, she didn't know what to say. She spent the rest of the event near them talking, laughing softly, listening. And when she left that evening, her heart felt strangely lighter, as if something small but real had shifted. A week passed. She told herself she wouldn't think about him again. But she did. Every day. One afternoon, after another long, lifeless meeting, Olivia found herself driving past the same cafe. And there he was, Ethan, inside by the window, sharing a muffin with Lily. They were laughing. Not politely, not carefully, freely. Before she could talk herself out of it, Olivia parked and walked in. Lily spotted her first. "Hey. The art show lady." Ethan looked up, surprised. "Olivia." She smiled nervously. "Mind if I join you?" He gestured to the seat. "Of course." That afternoon turned into hours. Coffee became stories. Stories became laughter. And laughter turned into something warm, something both of them had been missing for far too long. From that day, one meeting became many. Cafes turned into walks. Walks turned into dinners. And dinners turned into something deeper, quiet moments, soft smiles, a connection neither expected but both needed. Olivia found herself telling Ethan things she had never said out loud, how she was tired of being the strong one, how she missed being seen as a person and not a headline. Ethan shared stories about Lily, about loss, about the small ways he tried to keep his family whole. They didn't call it love. Not yet. They were just two people learning how to breathe again. But the world has a way of testing hearts that start to heal. Rumors began to spread. "Did you hear the CEO's dating a single dad? She's ruining her image. She needs someone on her level." Ethan heard whispers too. "Of course she feels sorry for him. She'll get bored eventually. You really think someone like that stays?" Each word chipped at him a little. And one evening, unable to carry the weight, he went to her office. "Olivia," he said quietly, "maybe this isn't fair to you. You deserve someone who fits your world." She looked up from her desk, eyes glistening. "Ethan," she whispered, "I've spent years surrounded by people who fit my world. None of them ever made me feel the way you do." He hesitated. "I don't have much to give you. Just a small house. A daughter who already loves you. And a heart that's been broken once." Tears welled in her eyes. "That's all I've ever wanted." He smiled, then a small, real smile, and took her hand. For the first time in years, both of them felt something that wasn't fear or duty. It was peace. From then on, they stopped hiding. They didn't owe explanations to anyone. Olivia learned to slow down, to make time for Sunday breakfasts, movie nights, bedtime stories. Ethan learned to let someone in again. And Lily, bright, joyful Lily, began to draw 3 figures instead of 2. One night, Lily came down with a fever. Ethan panicked, but Olivia took charge, driving them to the hospital and staying there all night. She read stories, stroked Lily's hair, and whispered, "You're going to be okay." Ethan watched her, this strong, kind woman who had every reason to walk away, and knew, without a doubt, that she belonged with them. A few months later, the rain returned. The same cafe. The same soft glow from the window. Lily wore a little white dress and held something behind her back. "Close your eyes," she said, giggling. Ethan and Olivia obeyed. Lily placed something in Olivia's hands, a paper heart, pink and carefully cut. In shaky handwriting, it read, "My family." Olivia's eyes filled instantly. She looked at Ethan. He smiled, his voice gentle. "We may not have everything, Olivia. But we have this, and it's real." She nodded through her tears. "I'm not going anywhere." Outside, rain tapped softly against the glass. Ethan reached for her hand, and Lily climbed into her lap. For a moment, everything felt still. Whole. Right. They didn't need promises or fancy words. Just presence. Just love. Sometimes, love doesn't come when you're ready. It comes when your heart finally stops fighting it. It arrives quietly, like rain after a long drought, and before you know it, you're breathing again. Ethan had spent years surviving. Olivia had spent years pretending. But together they learned how to live. Because in the end, love isn't about perfection. It's about finding someone who sees your cracks and calls them beautiful. Someone who doesn't fix your past, but helps you build a future anyway. And that's exactly what they did. A single dad. A lonely CEO. A little girl with a paper heart. 3 lives that didn't just cross, they connected. They healed. And together, they finally found home. Life doesn't always give us what we plan for. Sometimes it gives us what we need. And for Ethan, Olivia, and Lily, that need was simple. To be seen. To be loved. To belong. So when people asked Olivia years later how she met her husband, she always smiled and said, "I slipped, and he caught me." And just like that, fate had done what it does best. It whispered 2 broken hearts toward each other. And gave them a reason to believe again.